This is Way Too Long, coach of the FC Seviper 4, bringing you week 8 of the PFL, and this is quite a special week because it's probably our last match this season. The main season is over. This is the last match before the playoffs, and it's really close. So this match that you will see in a few minutes will decide if the FC Seviper 4 in their first draft league season ever actually makes it to the playoffs. And as you see here, our opponent's team, the Green Bay Leefs, coached by Amber, he was allowed to do a lot of switching because he took over the team mid-season, and he was just allowed to do a lot of switches. It's not quite similar to the team we fought in week 4. And our actual team members here, let's see, are Hypnontop, Garchomp, Tornadoes T, Arcanine, AGGRON, his new Uber, Deoxys Speed, his new Mega AGGRON, we have Roselia, Ferrothorn, Rhydon, Electros, and Milotic. And here is our team. Maybe the last time we see 6 of these mons. Up first, we have our Uber, Kyurem Black, aka Peldramon. Quite sorry that I didn't use it more often. Many cases I just thought the matchup was not that good. He was mainly here on our team for its presence, bringing our opponents to actually prep for this offensive monster and bring something completely different. But now, week 8, he will be here to show a bit off. He's holding the expert belt, and we're mostly a special set with Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Psychic. Then we have a strong physical Dragon Step and Dragon Claw, which hits a lot of our opponent's team since he got rid of Mega Ordino. He has no Fairy type on his team, so he has no real switch into a Dragon Claw. Expert build will mostly work for the special attacks, but also Dragon Claw can do a lot of damage on a switch in. We have 148 investment in HP, 8 investment in attack. We have full investment with Rash Nature in special attack, and we have 100 EVs in speed. Then we have Hyperion, our Hippowdon. It definitely won't be the last time we see Hyperion, since he is the only member of our PFL team that is also at our JBA team, and there we still have like 4 matches. So and this is pretty much the same Hyperion I brought last week in the JBA, mainly because we're again up against a Mega AGGRON, and as you remember, Hippowdon was basically built to take on Mega AGGRON, and this week it will be 2. We have the Rocky Helmet to deal with physical attackers, since it's our physical wall. We have Stealth Rocks, Earthquake, and Slack Off like last week. I only changed one move instead of Curse, since Mega AGGRON already outspeeds us. We have Ice Fang, mainly for the dragon types, like the Garchomp or the Tornadoes T. Since last time in the JBA, just having Earthquake basically screwed us over against Levitate, against a dragon, a levitating dragon. So now we can hit dragons and flying types, levitators, whatever. Same investment as in the JBA, 248 in HP, 8 in attack, and 252 in defense. We also have the Sandstream. Then we have one of my favorite team members on this team. We have Artifact Zatu. This time holding the Choice Scarf with Magic Bounce. We have Thunder Wave. So with a Choice Scarf and a Thunder Wave we can actually outspeed the Tornadoes if it's not scarfed, and then Thunder Wave it, basically cripple this fast mon. we love playing with yellow magic here. We also have Psyshock. We have Trick in connection with Choice Scarf, so maybe we can trick the Ferrothorn, make it less useful, maybe trick the Melodic, keeping them from recovering, switching moves. And we also have Giga Drain, which at this point 2 shots Eviolite right on. We just have to make sure we don't get hit by a Rock Blast. We are Timid Nature, so fully speed, 252 in special attack and 4 in special defense. Then we have another MVP for this season, King Ralph, the Slow King. He's back, holding the Assault Vest with Regenerator. Fully offensive set, of course. With Assault Vest we have the Fire Blast to hit, to OHKO the Ferrothorn. We have Ice Beam for a lot of dragons and flying types. We also have Psyshock against for the Hitmonchan, and also the Shadow Ball. Nearly full investment in HP, Modest Nature, full investment in special attack and 8 in special defense. So King Wolf can actually take a hit, give back a strong special hit, switch out, get a Regenerator, health back. Yeah. And connecting with our Sand Stream Hippowdon, we have the old Dream Team from our very first match. Back here with Whack-A-Mole, the Excadrill, holding the Life Orb. Back with Sandwash in her 4th week in the PFL, and yeah, we used all different abilities. On our Excadrill first week we brought it, we have Sandwash, now we have Sandwash. We also had Modebreaker and Sandforce, so we made good use of all the abilities an Excadrill can give to us. Of course we have Earthquake, we have Rock Slide, Poison Jab and Sword Stance. Full investment in attack, Element Nature, full investment in speed, because with Sandwash, as I said, as long the Tornadus is not choice scarfed, after we get the send up, nothing will really outspeed us, and with Life Orb, Element Nature, we can hit just really, really hard. And for EVs and special defense, because why not? They're just there, so why not invest them? And then we have our true team captain, the only one we bought throughout this whole season. I basically cannot live without him. Basketballs, the Mega Magnetic, our top contender in the MVP race with 9 kills throughout the season, even 1 passive kill for a Mega Magnetic thanks to Toxic. We of course have the Lightning Rod. Before Mega Evolving we have Hidden Power Ice, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and then we have Quick Attack. And the reason we have Quick Attack is just Hidden Power Ice can OHKO Guard Jump at this point, but it also cannot. And as you have seen in last week, we had some bad luck with our rolls. And if this guard jump is like scarfed, but we actually get like somehow for predict the switch right, get a Hidden Power Ice off, and the guard jump lives at like 5% and is scarfed, and think it can take us on. The next round we have Quick Attack, which does like 6 or 7% to a guard jump, or something with Focus Sash. If we have something like that on our opponent's team, we can actually take it on. Maybe I'll activate some brain cells before beginning the match, and then switch a Quick Attack back with a Volt Switch. We will see at the match. We have Timid Nature, 144 investment in speed, and this 144 have just the reasons. So max speed Tornadus T, which is the fastest one on the opponent's team, will not outspeed Mega Magnetic at this point. It's the fastest as it can get, and if it's scarfed, if Guard Jump is scarfed, then putting more EVs in speed does not really make sense because we get outspeed anyway. So we actually took these EVs that we have and put it in defense. With an intimidate drop, we can, with this defense investment, we can actually live earthquake, or we have the chance to live an earthquake from a guard jump. We also have full investment in special attack because we want to hit hard. And then we have 4 EVs in attack, because why not? We have quick attack, so that's it. But yeah, this is our team for the last regular week. I hope I can build a team for the first. I hope I can build a team for the first round of the playoffs. And now let's start the match. So here we are starting our last match. I have a quick update here. I swapped out Poison Jab for Axe Scissor on Excadrill just to have a better attack for the Deoxys. And as you see, our opponent brings Melodic, he brings Excelgor. We see probably the most dangerous thing on our opponent's team is the Garchomp. Deoxys speed, of course. Nothing on our team can really outspeed this. That's why we have Thunder Wave. We also have the Tornadoes, and of course, this time we're up against the Mega AGGRON, not like in our JBA match when we bought Hippowdon, and no AGGRON was there to counter it. So I lead with Hippowdon to get my Stealth Rocks up. I can live one hit from the Deoxys, and he doesn't go for hazards, he goes straight for Ice Beam, does 75%. Thank God we don't have any freeze, and we get up our Stealth Rocks. And now of course I don't want to say lose Hyperion, lose my opportunity to set up Sand. And I thought since he went for Ice Beam, I can bring in Guacamole. Ice Beam is neutral on her. She pretty much tanks it, takes 40%, but of course now she's in a good position to hit the Deoxys, since the Deoxys was, I think, hadn't that much speed investment, I can say now, so the Sandrush seemed to outspeed it, which is good to know. So I just went for Earthquake. I thought he might not go into the Tornadoes to take a potential Rock Slide or a Stone Edge, since we can have this just for the Tornadoes, and everything else just get hit by Earthquake really hard. X-Scissor would be resisted by a lot of his mons, so I just went straight for Earthquake. The Melodic comes in, takes some rock damage, and we get first crit in turn 3. It just destroys the Melodic, and this crit actually mattered a lot. Yeah, but if you have seen my last PFL match, week 7, I'm not sorry considering this match, because this is just balancing out the bad luck from last week. So Melodic is down, and I kind of wish I went for Sword Stance here on this on the Melodic switch, since with Sword Stance I still would have had the chance to one-shot the Melodic, and also had the chance to one-shot this threat that is on the screen right now, the Mega AGGRON, which does not get one-shot by Earthquake, but it can have Earthquake, which and the amount of health Guacamole is, it would just destroy her. So I have to swap out, let the sand peter out, and I have to sack off Xatu at this point, since I expect the AGGRON to have Head Smash. But first I expected Earthquake, having at least a safe switch in for artifact here. AGGRON Mega evolves, and it goes indeed for Earthquake. Of course, its artifact is immune. And here we see the AGGRON does not have Head Smash, it has to switch out and goes into Guard Jump. And since I was already planning to stack off Zatu at this point, because even with the speedy Deoxys on the other side, I have ways to deal with it. I don't need to trick a Choice Scarf to a Ferrothorn, since Ferrothorn is not here. So I just went straight for Giga Drain, get the health back that the sand did cost us. We get at least 20% off. And we see the Garchomp does have leftovers. So at least this point here showed us that the Garchomp is not scarfed, which is a big relief for me, since now I know a lot of my mons cannot speed it. Now I assume it's just Jolly max speed, max attack, which of course our Manectric is built for. But now I go for Giga Drain again, get some more damage off on the Garchomp, as Garchomp hits the Stone Edge and destroys Zatu, which I think did at least a pretty good job throughout the season, being their father when it's so now I bring in Manectric, and as you know from the team prep I calculated if this Garchomp is like normal, it's Jolly, max speed, max attack. With the Intimidate drop from the Mega Evolution, I can take one Earthquake. I know it's not scarfed, so it won't outspeed me. And here I predict my opponent to predict me going for HPIs, since that's the safest way to deal with Garchomp. So I did not go for HPIs. I go for Flamethrower on a possible switch in, since it would hurt a lot of the other mons on our side, especially like the Mega AGGRON, which of course would tank an HPIs like it's nothing, but Flamethrower actually does a lot. Excelgor takes a lot, and at least with Stealthrox we get some nice damage on the Tornadoes. So here I expect him switching out, going for Flamethrower, and he stays in. We get a crit that didn't really matter, we only do 25%. And the Garchomp goes for Earthquake, and it kills. So we see it's not Jolly, it's in fact Adamant. So had I bought Hydreigon with max speed, I would have had no problem with this Garchomp. But now, at this point I thought I might be screwed, since I had to sack off Zatu, at least thinking I can revenge kill the Garchomp with Manectric, and now Manectric goes down without even get one KO, which is the first time in the season ever. Yeah, I'm a bit worried now. So I bring in Hippowdon, because I know even with it being adamant I can take a lot of hits, or at least one hit and then slack off. Go back to full health, since Hyperion is here to counter all his physical threats he has for me. And the Garchomp indeed switches out. The Mega AGGRON comes in, which is perfectly for me, since this Hyperion is just here mainly to just counter a Mega AGGRON. I go for the free slack off on the switch. Going for Earthquake, doing nice like 30%. But then we see that this Mega AGGRON has counter, which is really scary. It's even scarier than Avalanche. But since Earthquake didn't do that much, I don't know what he expected here, how hard I would hit with Earthquake. It does less than we just got back with Slack Off, and the Mega AGGRON also gets hurt by our Rocky Helmet. So it's not even a bad situation here. I think he can't do much to me, so I go for Slack Off again. Get some nice health back. We take 12% from the Dragon Tail, and he takes 17% from our Rocky Helmet, so this turn was even better for us. And here you can just see why last week in the JBA I brought Hippowdon to counter Mega AGGRON, because it just vaults this big chunk of steel. So we get Dragon-tailed and just perfectly, basically for me, into Kyurem. So Kyurem has a perfectly free switch in on a really weakened Mega AGGRON. So we have no problem outspeeding it, of course. We have no problem just destroying it with an Earth Power. I did not expect him here to go into the Tornadoes, because Ice Beam is still pretty hard hitting move. It wouldn't have been enough to KO the Mega AGGRON at this point, but still I just went straight for the KO. Now Mega AGGRON is out, which is really good for our Excadrill, because now there's nothing really, and we still have Sand Up for 2 turns, but we still have Hippowdon, so if we get the Sand Up again, there's nothing that can stop Excadrill. And as worried as I was when Manectric goes down, as relieved I am now, because I consider myself now in a much better position here. Take even more sandstorm damage, which is not that good. Then the Excelgor comes in, and I'm aware that he can carry Focus Blast. I did some cards, I have the chance to live it, and I also have the chance to, of course, it's Focus Miss. It's called for a reason like this, so I'm just risking it. I'm going for the Dragon Claw, which definitely will KO the Excelgor here at this point. He hits the Focus Blast, but he misses the kill with it, so it's not max special attack. Kyurem goes for Dragon Claw and gets his second KO in this match. In his third match overall, we have now 4 kills and 1 death. Then of course the Axis comes back in. I know it has Ice Beam, I know it's more, especially and even Ice Beam does KO Paeldramon at this point, but I want to preserve Mons for the differential. And I'm pretty sure here he thinks I will sack off Paeldramon to an Ice Beam, which I don't want, so I go into my Special War King Wolf, which hadn't even seen the field in this match. He indeed does go for the Ice Beam, which does like nothing, and he takes even more life or recoil than he did to us. And now here I'm pretty sure that we can take an Energy Ball. No. I expected like a knockoff, but at the set he was, knockoff would have done like 50% to us. We are healthy enough to live 1 knockoff. He goes indeed for Energy Ball, which is interesting to see. So fully special set, and King Wolf has no problem destroying this Deoxys with a Shadow Ball. And now Tornadoes that's right, Tornadoes knockoff will do 50%, or at least from the normal Tornadoes. Tornadoes Fury and knockoff would do 50% at this point. I noticed, so King Wolf is at 55%, so I know I can take this unless it's a crit. But that's really, I still think it's really unlikely here. Tornadoes takes Stealth Rocks damage, gets into perfect Ice Beam range, it goes for Hurricane, which of course King Wolf as our special ball can take very easily, and he gets a second KO with Ice Beam. Absolutely perfect, and now everything that's left on our opponent's team is the Garchomp, which takes a little bit Stealth Rock damage, enough to slow down the leftover recovery. And now of course I want to preserve Mons. He has no reason not to go for Earthquake at this point, but I know Hippowdon is healthy enough. I was like, yeah, 68%. I get the sand back up. If he somehow KOs Hippowdon, I know he's not fast enough to outspeed Excadrill in the sand. So we are into 16. Game is pretty much over. It's almost GG. We take 28% from the Earthquake. And here I see nothing. This Garchomp does 40% to us. Earthquake did not, which is like maybe an outrage, but I don't think he will lock himself into outrage. So he goes for the Iron Head, hoping for a flinch. Takes more Rocky Helmet damage, and I just go for Ice Fang. I'm aware that it could have missed. I'm aware that Earthquake, or at least I calc after the match that Earthquake would have killed 2. But I just want to go end it with Ice Fang. I clicked Ice Fang immediately, and even if we missed the Ice Fang, then Excadrill would have come in and taken out this Garchomp with an Earthquake, so it wasn't that much of a risk for us. And with this, after 17 turns, the match I was so worried about is over. We get, I think, the highest win in the season, which allows us to enter the playoffs next week. And again, for the 3rd time in the season, we will meet the Manitoba Mawpiles. So prepping will be a lot of mind games, I guess, since we already faced off twice in this season. Anyway, GG Ember. He did take over this team at like a really bad score, but he actually managed to endanger our playoff spot. Yeah, at least now instead of just being 4-4, we are 5-3, so much better than I expected to do. And everything that comes now, it's just bonus. I mean, I will not bring completely heat next week. I will try to get a win, maybe enter the finals. Yeah, but it's already a good job of my team, I think. And this is our team at the end of the season. As you see, Mega Manectric pretty much the MVP except for the last match, getting 9 KOs throughout the season. Then of course Excadrill, our first pick in the draft, 6 KOs only one time, he fainted. And then like a surprise kind of, we have Slowking at rank 3 in our internal MVP race. Also just like Excadrill with 6 KOs, but of course he played 7 matches. Not Excadrill only did 4. But still, King Ralph was always good for a nice KO. Then we have Kyurem, Hippowdon, and Darmanitan, all with 4 KOs, Tango for 3. And then the rest of the team, all with 1 KO. Yeah, and they all did a pretty much good job. Even if they just got 1 KO and a lot of deaths like Zatu, they all did their job throughout the season. Thanks to this team, my first drafted team ever, I think it did pretty good, and I hope it will do good at the next 1, maybe 2 matches. Yeah, and I'll see you next week for the playoffs against the Manitoba Mawpiles, and peace out.